Hi everyone, my name is Pedro Faria and welcome back to another Data in the Wild episode hosted by Data Meaning. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel below, click on the bell to turn on the notifications to be the first to know every time we upload a new video. Today, we're going to be talking about leveraging Amazon S3 buckets in Alteryx Designer. So, in case you do not know this, Alteryx does have a native connection to Amazon S3 buckets. We're going to be able to create a download and upload action. And it's going to be super simple. All we have to do is push data into one of those tools or actually extract data out of those tools, right? So, when it comes to uploading an S3 bucket to an S3 bucket. In this case, I have a super simple example where you can see I just use a text input, creating a couple columns, an ID column and a value column, and I'll be pushing that specific data set into my S3 bucket, right? So on the S3 bucket side, all you have to do is, of course, have a bucket, get your access key and your secret key, plug it in right over here. Then after that, you're going to be setting up your specific endpoint using your bucket name. And then over here, this is where you're going to be creating your object name, all right? On the S3 bucket side, all you have to do is create the bucket, and then a new bucket will show up over here. You go inside the bucket and then you're going to be able to create the file for it, right? So when it comes to the file, these tools over here, they are limited to a YXDB, an Ever, a CSV, or a JSON file, right? So depending on what you want to do, for example, if you just want to use Excel files, I definitely recommend you to just use it as a CSV, right? But still, you're going to be able to push data into it, and then as you're going to be seeing in just a little bit, you're going to be able to download that data as well, right? So just to recap, this information you can find in your actual login information, your access key, your secret key. Afterwards, you're going to be using either the default or your specific region over here, right? I recommend the default because it kind of automatically understands where this specific bucket is located, so it just goes there. But if you want to specify for more security, you can use it, of course. You can definitely enable the v4 option. That probably will slow down a little bit, so depending on the size of the data set, it may slow down a little bit, but it does add more security, so if you don't do that, go ahead and do so. And depending on the server-side encryption method that you use, you're going to be using this by default as well, the v4 option, right? In this case, I'll not be doing this, but just give you the heads up in case you do want to add more security, of course, right? So then I have my bucket name, I have my object name, and I'm saving that data set as a CSV. I'll run the workflow. And there you go. That data has been now pushed into my S3 bucket. You can even see on the log information, 4 records were written to this specific file, right? It doesn't really say CSV, but we know that because we added a CSV option, that file has now been saved as a CSV, right? So if I were to go to my S3 bucket, I see that file over there. But in this case, I don't really have to go because I can simply just download that back into Alteryx and I can show you. Because now we're going to be using the download option, right? So we just talked about the Amazon S3 upload. Now we're going to be downloading it. And it's going to be pretty much the same thing. We're going to be using the keys. By default, I just say use the default option. It's going to be easier for you. Don't have to go look for exactly which region you're talking about. Just easier, I guess. And then you're going to be using the bucket name and the object name. You can use this button over here in case you don't really know the name. You can just click over here and then you're gonna be able to see the buckets that you actually have available. And then you can click on the other one for the object. So you can see all the objects, right? So all the files that you have inside of that. And you can see the one that I just created. I can just enable that. I'll be reading that as a CSV. It kind of automatically understands that because it knows it's a CSV. And you can see the same options that I had to upload, I had to download, right? Then I can just run the workflow. And now instead of uploading the data, I'm just downloading the data, right? Because I'm using these containers, you can see this one is turned off. So I'm no longer just uploading, I'm just now downloading. Then you can see over here, that specific data has been downloaded, right? So for example, if I were to make a simple change over here, right? Let's say that we just want to add more data. In this case, I'm just going to override the file. I'll just add a new row, right? So row 5, which says E, and then 5 over here. I'll run the workflow to upload the dataset. Now I'm overriding the file. Then now I'm going to download that, right? So we know that the previous run, we only have 4 rows. Now let's see how many rows we actually get from this download over here. Now you can see we actually got 5 rows now. So leveraging the Amazon S3 download and upload tools are super easy. And now you can see that you can do this by yourself with no problems at all. All right. So this does wrap up our video today. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Please let us know if there are any questions or any recommendations for future videos. Thank you so much and have a nice one. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, please comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to know when future videos are posted. Thank you for watching.